Hello, hello to all the parents of the next generation. It's Megan Barella here, your positive parenting and happy home guide. I'm so excited to be here with you today to talk about one of the most common parenting challenges today and one of the number one reasons that parents end up wanting to work with me, and that is power struggles. So the story behind this training is I was welcoming many new members to the community. And if you are a new member, heartfelt welcome to what will hopefully be your positive parenting home of unconditional and compassionate support. As I was welcoming many of you in, I was also talking to you about your top parenting challenges. And people were sharing power struggles. And then I'm like, oh, I'm sure I have a training for that because I have all these past free trainings that I've done. And I'm looking up, I'm going through my Rolodex of past free trainings. And I'm like, I've never done a training on power struggles. And here we are today. Oh, and then I did the post in the group and it just blew up with comments. So first thing as we get started today, and if you are joining us live, please do say hello in the comments below. Sometimes I can see the comments, sometimes I actually can't see them till I go back to the replay. And if you want to share, please, I love interaction. It's also, you're going to get the most value out of this training if you interact. So please do post any responses to the things that I'm sharing, and also your real life challenges with power struggles. I have a couple topics that people have already sent me, okay? So I want this to be interactive, like a talk, a conversation. Also sharing things that are gonna help other parents, how you work with power struggles in your family, and we'll just go to there. We're gonna have fun. And I want this to be fun because you have to know you're not alone. So I think 80-90% of parents today are working with struggles. Hello, it's great to see everyone. So you're not alone, you're in good company, and we want this to be really fun and supportive. Okay, I'm gonna get out. If you have any questions, like when do you find that power struggles happen most in your family? Hello. And if you feel comfortable sharing that in the comments below. Here's what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over 3 reasons, the top reasons that I see power struggles happening. And then when I talk about each reason, I'm going to give you a tip or some insight. So again, if you have words of wisdom to share, insight, tips that also work for you, make sure to share that in the comments below. Okay, so the number one reason power struggles are happening. You're stressed. I'm stressed. We're all stressed. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, what, 3 years into the 2 year? I mean, I've lost track. How many years of pandemic parenting have we been doing? Everyone is juggling so much right now. I want to start off this training acknowledging and celebrating each and every one of you. You are highly capable. You care deeply. You're juggling so much as a parent. And that's the problem, not you and your kids. Imagine this. You woke up every day and someone made you a beautiful breakfast and your house was cleaned and you were able to sit there and be with your children, right? Help them get ready for school or maybe for homeschooling or virtual schooling. And, you loved your job and you were paid 10 times more, or money magically appeared in your bank account. You probably wouldn't be having as many power struggles with your kids, right? Stress is the problem. You're doing so much and it's like go, demands. And now my kid's not getting ready for school. Now they're not getting dressed. Now they're not doing their homework. They're not getting on for virtual school. They're not doing the simple cleanup. So it's not like you're faced with this behavior challenge and, everything else is so wonderfully supported in your life. It's that you're doing 5 million things. You have so many demands or stressors, right? And then your child is just being a kid, right? They're testing you. They need more emotional support. And it's like very often and very, very sadly, It's our children's behavior. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, that's when we realized, oh my goodness, I can't do this, right? And that's when the power struggles usually crop up. Okay, so if you think of the energy behind a power struggle, it's like a tug of war. It's like this battle of wills. And if you and your children are both strong-willed, if any of you have that dynamic, please do pop a yes in the comments below, because we want to support you. Transitioning off screens is a major point of contention. Thank you for sharing that. And that is so common and something that we want to support you on. And so are you, or maybe, your mate or partner, yep, strong-willed, and your kids are strong-willed, okay? Well, we want to celebrate that, because those are our leaders, right? And this is a dynamic when we can really see that tug of war and the battle of wills, okay? Sometimes kids will tell me, I fought with my mom or dad last night, right? I got in a fight with my mom or dad, and I'm kind of like laughing inside, and I'm not judging. I'm laughing like at myself too. If I've ever been in this situation, I'll have like a 10-year-old tell me this. And I'm like, you fought with your mom or dad. Like, usually when we say fighting, right, that's something that happens between siblings, right? But it's like, if we're fighting with our kids and we're really engaging full on in those power struggles, one, have compassion. It means you're stressed. And two, you're not, we just have to honor we're not in our highest and best place as a parent. In fact, if we're fighting with our 3, 5, 7, 9, 11-year-old, more often than not, it's our unresolved 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11-year-old that's running the show. And that's why having compassion for the high stress levels of parenting today, and having compassion for yourself, that really part of what's going on is that your children's behavior, not listening, not cooperating, defiance, disrespect, may be activating the way your parents, caregivers, or teachers responded to you in that situation. So a lot of times when we are getting in that tug of war, that battle of wills, we're not coming from like our fully connected adult brain. It's like our inner child, the kid within us that is engaging in battles with our own children. And I say that with lots of love and compassion. And if you connect with that, I would love to just, pop a little heart in the comments below. Is that something that you feel like is at play below? And if so, compassion for yourself is key, for the stress levels that you're facing, and for how you want to show up differently for your children than your parents showed up for you. Even if you feel like, okay, it's not exactly happening right now, you still have that longing, right? And that goal, okay? So what is one simple tool that has helped a lot of parents? This is from the Circle of Security. I'm going to share a few tools. Just be in an open place and also be honest, like, oh, this would be supportive to me, or I don't think I would be able to access this tool in the moment, because not every tool is for every parent or every family. This tool, though, has helped a lot of parents. Just simply repeating, I'm bigger, stronger, wiser, kinder. I'm bigger, stronger, wiser, kinder. Maybe with a little hand over your heart. Maybe giving yourself a little hug. Just taking that moment to remind yourself, oh, shoot, I am the adult here, right? I am the one who has the power to shift this situation. And when you can remind yourself, especially that you're wiser and kinder, right? Then you may help keep that logical, empathetic part of your brain connected, those of you that know flipped lid, right? So that your little girl or little boy isn't running the show, okay? So just like repeating, bigger, stronger, wiser, kinder, maybe repeating it throughout the day, or if you start to notice, okay, this is gonna be a challenge area, okay? Now, the second reality with parents is that, sorry, and I want to do this from the challenge because we're talking about the reasons why first, is that your assertive presence may be off in the situation, okay? So this is huge for all of us as parents today, and it's something that we're gonna really work on in the Happy Home Week. So if you're not yet registered for the Happy Home Week, whether you've joined us before, you're a new community member, I'm gonna pop that right now in the comments below, and you can register. I really do run this like a paid program. In fact, you get a complimentary Happy Home welcome call. I just got off one before this session. We're gonna help you set your opening goals, intentions, and focus areas. And we're gonna be starting next Monday, January 24th at 10:30 a.m. That's PT West Coast time. So make sure that you're registered and join us for that, okay? We're gonna really help you develop, that'll be day 3, our day in confidence, on developing your assertive presence. So what can happen is it could be that you're actually coming off a little too passive or a little overly kind, and then you're getting overly firm or maybe a little militant or explosive yourself when your kids don't listen. So it's like too passive, then too aggressive when we don't get listening. And that makes it very challenging for our kids to cooperate with us. It's very confusing. And that's when there can be so many like power dynamics that go on with those children who are highly persistent or strong-willed. So what I would invite you to look at is how you can get stronger in the positive, okay? And some of your kids might be needing this. They might be needing you to be a little clearer, a little more confident, a little more assertive from the get-go. So if you find that you're asking your kids, oh, would you please clean up? Or would you please do this? You're asking them a question. And then that's where you start. And then the power struggles snowball from there because the kids aren't listening. And then you get overly firm or aggressive. Then how could you front your assertiveness from the get-go? How could you get stronger in the positive? And a simple way to do that is to just think of one word, do statement, and say it on repeat. Close. 5 minutes till we get off screens. And then you could make sure, check your child heard you. What did I just say? Just check, hey, what did I just say? 5 minutes, mom, okay? Or you repeat it back for your child. And just kind of coming, especially with our older kids, moving into one word, simple, clear do statements. It's going to conserve your energy, and it can be really effective for communication if the power struggle starts with actually you becoming too passive. We can also see this dynamic a lot if you are a natural peacemaker, if you are a conflict avoider, right? And you have a child that it has big emotions and has strong-willed. I work with this dynamic quite effectively in my Happy Home programs. I'll have a lot of parents who they're naturally more calm and peaceful, and they don't like conflict, and they have these children with big personalities. So if that's the case, if that dynamic is going on, that's when it can be really helpful for you to even, you can picture, not in an aggressive way, but like a peacock. Like, how a peacock fluffs up their feathers? Some of you, it might be a little beneficial to like get into your body a little bit, even do some, like, if your body allows, some like jumping, running in place, whatever you can do, movement, even moving your arms to be like, I'm in my body, right? My kid's gonna cooperate with me. I can get a little bigger in my energy, have that like peacock energy, and then just that one word, simple. Repeat, 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 okay? So the other reality is though, that maybe you're doing something like that, or maybe you do naturally have an assertive presence, and that's actually getting out of balance and turning into aggressive tendencies when your kids don't listen or cooperate. The other dynamic that I see a lot in families, and this is a message I like to repeat to myself all the time, and honestly, no matter what the ages, stages, developmental challenges, temperament, personality of your child, this can be beneficial. It could be that your child is not cooperating and the power struggles are happening because your child is actually overwhelmed. Because life is so stressful right now, we get this feeling that my child should be able to do this, right? My 7-year-old physically can get dressed on their own. They should be able to do it on their own. My 9-year-old should be able to do this on their own. Even my 3-year-old should be able to do this on their own. The reality is, I would say probably for all of our children today, especially because life is so stressful, they would benefit from, one, our positive, emotional, and physical presence by them as a supporting role, as a tool of their empowerment. Now, this is not enabling. This is not doing for your child. This is being in that coaching, supportive, neutral, positive role with our children. And hello, this is not easy to do when we're all so taxed and stressed out, okay? So I help you create that bridge of ease so it's easy to be with your children. And so that can help with overwhelm. So for example, for transitions, bedtime, morning, for cleanup, this is when just being that positive emotional, physical presence. And what does that mean? That does mean a little more work from the get-go. We have to put down our phones. We have to just take that deep breath, really like, okay, I'm doing this right now. I'm gonna dedicate the next, and the thing is, once you dedicate the time, it may only take 30 seconds. It may only take 5 minutes. And I'm doing this now because it's gonna save me the 20 minutes, the 1 hour in the battle, right? Because with parenting, we're putting in the time, you're putting in the time, you're already working 24/7, right? What I help you do is make that work most efficient. So it's not a drain on your energy during this stressful time, and it's efficient for your children so they feel that they can trust you, that you're there for them, and they feel empowered. And so just sharing, just kind of being there with your children. If you're connecting with this, if you're wondering, how would I do this? What would this look like? Please do share some real life like challenges, questions, or connecting. Yes, I connect with us in the comments, okay? So the next piece of this to overcome overwhelm is that kids need things broken down into smaller steps. If you think about getting ready for the day, getting off screens, if you think about cleaning, there are multiple mini steps to begin and complete that task. And our children's brains are still developing. They're still developing until ages 21 to 25. They really need our brain to sponge off of. They're reading our thoughts, our emotional states. They're watching our behavior. And that's how they're learning how to do life skills, okay? And that's the power of just being with, sharing your positive, physical, emotional presence with your children, and then taking things and breaking them down into smaller steps. And this is when the positive parenting tools I share can be helpful. A lot of you might already be giving choices, but this is one of the key ways you might be using choices but not feeling like they're effective. Then one of the number one times to use choices effectively is to overcome overwhelm. Do you want to wear your jeans or your jogging pants today? You decide. What happens next? What's the first step to get started? Or you break down the overwhelm by using a tool of play. And this is going to be really the game changer for those of you who have children definitely under age 5, definitely under age 3, even under age 8 or 9, is using a tool of play to prevent power struggles. And so you start singing what needs to happen. You have the stuffy do the talking. You move your child from point A to B by being animals, by stomping like dinosaurs, whatever your child's favorite character is, using that, okay? With the screen time plans, yes, exactly. Exactly. So we're spending so much support, and that's it. It's the demands of today. So come back and definitely please do schedule that. I don't know if you're registered for the Happy Home Week, but this goes for all of you. Please schedule, because I'm sharing a lot of tools and I don't want to contribute to your overwhelm. What happens when we hop on the phone is I ask you questions and I get to know your family's unique reality. And then we're going to laser focus the 2 most important focus areas, the 1 to 3 most important focus areas that you can focus on for the Happy Home Week, because each family is unique. And I really want to encourage all of you to register for that call, because life is so stressful right now and you all deserve that individualized support, okay? So, but that being said, making things into a song, doing it like an animal, those can be some of your most effective tools, okay? So recognizing the high stress of parenting today, that often our inner child is being activated in those times, so we can show up differently for our kids than the way they were raised. Really accessing your assertive presence and utilizing those tools of play, okay? Was there one area that you feel like is most beneficial to your family situation? And then I want to take some of the real life questions, okay? Screen time is very unique. So that was one of the questions on the live, right? Screen time is very unique, and that's something that we can hop on and, and talk about and have an individualized time for your family to make it really is a screen time plan, okay? If you're noticing power struggles are really only around screens, that's actually a blessing, because then it's the screens that are a problem, not the other areas of your life, okay? And so I would encourage all of you, because screen time is unique. We're using screens as babysitters. Screen time consumption has skyrocketed for kids and adults during the pandemic, so we want to have a lot of compassion. And there's probably some subtle adjustments or big changes that could have a profound change in your family. And this is something that really does take us getting on the phone and making up that plan. My coaching clients have had sometimes behavior challenges the power struggles have been totally transformed, and the emotional breakdowns, because they are so connected to screens. And what is the challenge with screens is that if the power struggles are coming after the screens, then we just know that the screens are just too much of a stressor on our kids' brains, and they're throwing our children into that flipped lid or into that stress response. And so what we look at together is how to make that plan, especially with a tween or a teen, how to really empower them to come up with the ideas that work best for them, because then they're going to have buy-on in the plan. And usually it has to do with either decreasing the frequency, adding more breaks in, or looking at the specific programming. It could be the programming that's actually resulting in the flipped lid that's leading to the power struggles, okay? So the opposite end of the spectrum is the little ones, right? Like the 2s, the 1s to 3s to 4, challenging with getting dressed and diaper changes. And that's when It's really coming up with a plan and again, scheduling your sessions so we can bring these tools alive for your family rather than just hearing them in like the two-dimensional space, right? If you can, you have a little one and you can take those tools of play just from this live and put them into place, wonderful. That's when you're just gonna make the song, right? You're gonna make up a little song, Daniel Tiger, right, with the jingles, like that's where it's at for this age. And a lot of parents have transformed those power struggles just by turning it into a song. It's time for your diaper change. Will you go ahead and get your, and then involve the child in. The other thing, the other tool of play for getting dressed in diaper changes that can be really effective with the little ones is getting them to dress their stuffy, their doll, their truck. And that way they're feeling an empowered role or that they're helping you get dressed during the day. And then you can talk about even a little bit why clothes are important if that seems helpful, or that's when getting dressed. And one mom who just wrapped up the Happy Home Mastermind, this was super effective. Like it was just all about play with her 4-year-old. Once she started doing things like animals, then the power struggles totally disappeared. So, hey, it can be that easy. If you can take these tools and put them into play, wonderful. Sometimes we need that individualized support. We may feel resistance to using play or not sure how to use it effectively, and I can help you with that, okay? And then the last one that we had, the last question was about cleanup, okay? So cleaning up the room, the child starts whining. The child refuses, and then the parents don't want to go into punishing because like, where else do we go, right? So cleanup is one of those areas where our kids really do need our positive, emotional, physical presence with them, right? We're not enabling, we're not doing for them. We're kind of sharing our brain as support to them so they can do it. And then we're breaking things down into smaller steps. Now, if you think about it, if you think about cleaning up, right? If you think about that one messy drawer that we have, our whole entire house when it feels like it's exploded from kid stuff, whether it's cleaning up our office or our bedroom or the kitchen or the dishes, laundry, how many of us have felt overwhelmed by doing those simple tasks, right? And we have fully formed brains. So the vast majority of our children need cleaning broken down into smaller steps, right? What are you going to start with first? Where does this go? Let's set a timer and just work on this area. And that's why you just want to be honest with yourself. Do I have the emotional availability to offer this right now? Am I stressed through the roof? And if we work on cleaning my child's room right now, it's going to end up in a power struggle. You just want to be honest with yourself, accept where you are, and really focus on the positive relationship first with yourself and with your child, and schedule those things in when you do have the emotional availability to support your child. And maybe for you, it's overwhelming to think about supporting your child for cleanup. I mean, how many of us get that? Set a timer for 1 minute. Start with 1 minute of cleanup and then move from there. Really chunk things down into smaller steps. So we covered a lot. Power struggles, there's so many different reasons why power struggles could be happening with your family. For all of us, it's connected to stress levels today. So really just be gentle with yourself. Join us for the Happy Home Week beginning next Monday, January 24th. New community members are welcome to join us. If you join the Happy Home Week before, join us again. We're in a different time in parenting. Once again, your kids are at different ages and developmental stages. And then make sure after you register, click on that link to schedule your Happy Home Week call. Again, even if you've gone through the Happy Home Week again, I'm here for you. I'm offering this complimentary support because I know that in order to prevent power struggles in our family, we have to acknowledge the high stress levels of today, and we have to offset that stress with more support. And the best support is going to be the support that's individualized for your family. So go ahead, schedule that Happy Home Week call. Join us for the Happy Home Week. And then I will have some really amazing opportunities for Happy Home programs starting beginning February 7th. If you want to take that next step to continue your happy home journey. I'm sending all the best and lots of love to you and your family. If you feel like anything that came up today you don't necessarily want to share in the comments, then send me a message. But the most important thing, have that compassion, have that grace for yourself and everything that you're doing in a day, okay? Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you again soon.